We are talking about the future of conversational AI and how transformative innovation can help you make lightning progress. So, today I will talk about 5 plus 4 things that will happen this year and in coming few years in the conversational AI space. But let's begin with an example, a puzzle of some sort. Suppose we take one hypothetical strain of bacteria and put it in a bottle at 11 o'clock. We observe them growing every minute. Bacteria grow by doubling, so every minute it goes from 1 to 2, 2 to 4, 8, 16, and so on. And we also observe that at 12 o'clock, the bottle is 100% full. So, my first question to all of you, what time the bottle was half full? And as you may have guessed, the correct answer is 11:59, just a minute before it is 100% full. But now I have another question for you. It's a crucial question that if you were one of the bacterium in that bottle, what time would you realize that you are running out of space? And remember that the bottle was only 3% full at 11:55, 97% empty just 5 minutes before running out of space. That's how exponential growth works. And so, if you are relying on exponential growth of technology to make lightning progress, it's unlikely that you will get much further. So, what can we do about it? I will talk about that in a bit, but first, let me cover 5 most common predictions in conversational AI and AI in general. The first one is more white collar workers will use and interact with AI. Now, that seems obvious because as the adoption is growing, more and more companies getting into AI, using AI solutions, it's only logical to see more white collar workers using and interacting with AI. So, there is no surprise in this prediction. This is about to happen. It's happening already. AI solutions will improve in accuracy. That's the second prediction I have seen quite often. And it's logical again. And the reason why it seems so, because the accuracy depends on the quality of data as well as amount of data that any solution can access. So obviously in the beginning, there was a lack of data, lack of information, and we were just makeshifting things. AI solutions didn't have enough data to consume and train on. Over the past few years, that has increased. So it's only logical to expect that the accuracy will improve and it will keep improving. So accuracy probably will become less of a competitive advantage in some way because pretty much everybody will have it. The third prediction is about that you will see increased adoption across various sectors. And again, this comes from the fact that there were early adopters, the sectors that took on AI to implement, but then now it's becoming mainstream. So more and more sectors would get into it. There's another reason to that. The pandemic. During pandemic, a lot of companies that probably wouldn't have thought about AI now, or they were putting their implementation off for some time, they found resource crunch. A lot of their employees couldn't come to office, so there was always a problem to get right people in right places at the right time. And somewhere the AI has helped in solving that thing. So you will see more sectors, more industries adapting to this AI solutions in general. And that's where the fourth prediction comes in, is that handling complex conversation will become easier for chatbots. That somehow connects to the accuracy part because as you have more data, more variations, more variety and options to check through, it's only logical that now chatbots can handle a bit more complex solutions, more complex conversations because now they have more context around it. Don't expect too high results, but this is something that's coming and it's a good news. Number 5, and it's about personalization. That's becoming a key differentiator. I mentioned earlier that accuracy is not going to be a big of a differentiator because probably everyone will have that. But this one is being driven from two perspectives, the supplier perspective and the buyer perspective, the customer's perspective. From supplier's perspective, because if everybody has that data, if everybody has access to similar technology and accuracy and a number of other things, how would you differentiate? There has to be something new from you to offer to your customers, and the usual fallback is obviously the personalization. At the same time, even your customers understand this. They understand that all their suppliers are committing the same technological advances, the same service levels, and so on. So even they want a bit more from you. A lot of customers have been pampered through the last few years where their demands have gone higher and they do want that attention, they want that personalization. So it's being driven from both sides, and so it's only logical and win-win situation if you get onto that quickly. So these were 5 common predictions. I would say common because I'm not downplaying these things as such, but what I'm saying is these things are almost obvious, and anyone carefully looking at what's going on can see these things coming, which is why I said 5 plus 4, because now I will give you 4 more predictions that will be more helpful. Something that you can work on, something that you can take action and see results. But before we do that, let's circle back to our previous bacteria example. We know that they're running out of space. They're facing the space problem. And let's say a few smart bacteria realize it early on and they go on a search for a new bottle. They get lucky and find new bottle. Not 1 or 2, but 3 new bottles. Wonderful, isn't it? The crisis seems to be averted now. You have 3 more bottles to grow in. And you would think that the problem is solved. Is it? Let's see. Now, if we continue from 11:59, where we have a bottle 50% full and 3 more to go. At 12 o'clock, 1 bottle full and 3 more to go. At 12:01, they will double. So 1 becomes 2 bottles full, still 2 to go. What happens at 12:02? 4 bottles will be full. You will have nowhere to go. And you see, when everyone has access to the same technology, same data, same information, it is extremely difficult to differentiate yourself. The competition becomes fierce, and yet you cannot see it ending. It always comes down to doing more and more and more. So let me give you these 4 predictions that could actually help you in differentiating without running on a hamster wheel. Number 6, emotional intelligence. And this sounds cliche, but imagine you are an angry customer with a product or service and you want solution, you want fix, you want to complain. And so you go on their website or call the company on their hotline and you are greeted with the most accurate AI, sophisticated chatbot. How would you feel? I'll tell you what, most angry customers and anyone who is complaining usually has some level of anger. They would prefer to talk to someone, a person. Angry customers get angrier if not handled by a person, a human. And that's where emotional intelligence of individuals and the company as a whole comes into picture. Accuracy won't be a big deal, but the compassion will be. The difference between empathy and compassion is simple. With empathy, you feel and understand how your customer is feeling, but it does not guarantee any response. Compassion means you take action. You will do something about the problem that you just understood, and that's very powerful. It will not only help you in facing customers, but it will also give you deeper insights into what you know and what you don't know. You will be able to then decide on what to automate and what not to automate. You will be able to understand when to automate, when not to do that. So that's a very powerful thing. Number 7, discrimination and bias will continue. Yes, It will continue, and here is why. It will continue because we never really fix it in the first place. All the time, the data and training that companies have used has discrimination bias baked into it. And if you haven't really fixed yet, I have no doubt that it will continue even in your solution. But it's never too late and you still can fix it. So if you believe you can do something about it at your company level at least, then do it. Because if you work towards it and show your customers your genuine intent to fix those problems, customers will appreciate you more. And that's where number 8 might make more sense to you. People getting AI solutions wrong will continue. There will be goof-ups, there will be fiascos for many more years to come. Think about websites, for instance. It all started in 1990s, but still many businesses do not get their websites right. They're dysfunctional, bulky, it feels like you're lost in the woods. And in fact, at some point in time, you will also get your AI solutions wrong. But as long as you have better EQ, it won't derail you. Staying humble will take you much further. And that's where number 9, the most important one, comes into picture. Knowing your customer's intent will help you leapfrog. You see, when I told you about the bacteria example, I wanted to drive home a significant point. And the point is this: if we want to survive and thrive in technological growth, we will need a different kind of innovation. We'll need different kinds of solutions. Now think about this for a moment. When your customer wants to showcase a beautiful picture on their wall, your company might be selling him a hammer, but then a competitor might offer him a drill machine. And then someone else will jump in and they will provide hole in the wall as a service. Unfortunately, all of them are too focused on solving his problem without understanding the intent. The intent is to showcase a picture. It doesn't matter whether you dig a hole or not. So imagine the 4th company jumps in. They offer him a removable Velcro stickers. They offer him probably a blue tag or something. That's what I'm talking about. There are ways to innovate better. But most companies often use technology as a lever. And that may be good for some, but it's not good enough. If you want to deliver breakthrough results, if you want to make lightning progress, then you must focus on transformative innovation. Instead of working on better solutions, you need to transform the problem itself. And you can do that if you learn more about your customers' intents. That's possible. And that's going to be the biggest advantage. So, ladies and gentlemen, my point is this. In the race of technologies, what you need is not some another better technology solution. It will be like finding 3 more new glasses, 3 new bottles. It will not help you for long. What you really need is getting your customers on your side, building that trusted relationship with technological competence and emotional intelligence. And you can do that if you remain curious about your customers, if you understand their real issues and grasp their true intents. Because curiosity plus care equals new opportunities, new avenues for differentiation. But additionally, you will also have to be bold and courageous. Because without that, how can you even take decisive action? How will you go against the grain? But if you do, your path to becoming a market leader will be much shorter. Because boldness plus courage plus action equals market leadership. And finally, with all this curiosity, care, courage, boldness, action, you will have to be persistent in your efforts, in your actions. Because many times I've seen that the organizations have a right strategy, they have the right plan, everything is right, but they don't have a stamina or persistence to see through to the end. They give up too soon. And while the world is changing faster than ever, one thing is certain and clear. The new world needs a new kind of innovation, new ways of doing things. And that means redressing or refreshing the same old stuff is not going to give you better results. The future of conversational AI is humane. It has to be. And adapting to the transformative innovation can help you make that lightning progress and leapfrog. With the right mindset, you can do it. And I'm confident that some of you will do it. And for all those folks, I wish you all the best. Thank you.